Let's talk about Sonny Styles and why I think Notre Dame has a player who can exploit him on defense in a defense that doesn't have that many weaknesses. What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching the #1 college football show, welcome. Please hit the subscribe button. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Ring the bell if you would like to see these segments as soon as they become public for you to view. And answer the question below. Do you think Sonny Styles is the weakness on this Ohio State defense? And as far as we're concerned, with Notre Dame playing against Ohio State for the national championship on Monday, I want to outline why I think Sonny Styles is a guy that I would pick on if I was Notre Dame. But I also want to give some background here. Sonny Styles, for many, is what we expected. Well, I should say, we expected him to do what Caleb Downs is doing, right? Be the kind of safety that could play everywhere. Be everywhere. Do everything. Free safety, strong safety, will linebacker, middle linebacker. In coverage, he can come. Blitz, return kicks. He was one of the top 100 players in the country, and for some, a 5-star. He came in with lots of praise, about 210 pounds, and was thought to be like that linebacker safety hybrid that Isaiah Simmons was at Clemson when he was a destroyer of worlds. That dude could line up in the 9 technique and rush. He could drop back in coverage. He could play slot corner. He could play safety. Ends up, you want him in the middle of your defense doing whatever it is that other people can't do. He is an eraser, right, at Clemson. Caleb Downs is the same guy, right? And since Cody Simon has really come on to be a tackling machine, if you will, at Ohio State, it's been really the Caleb Downs and Cody Simon show after you get past the front four, the defensive line. But there has been a worrying trend that I have seen from Sonny Styles as he has made the transition to linebacker. And the ability to cover in space is just not there. He's also 6'4", 235. So he is not just outgrown the safety position. The man actually might outgrow the linebacker position if he ain't careful, because that's about 30 pounds from being able to just put your hand on the ground, and it's not hard for a guy like Sonny Styles to put on 30 pounds and be 6'4". That said, I think there's something to do here. And as far as if Sonny Styles was your slot corner, that's a huge slot corner. But if he can't do it, though, like just why Jordan Hancock is over there. If Sonny Styles was your 8th man in the box, like Latham Ransom, right, who just comes down and has been wrecking people, that's awesome for you too. But Latham Ransom is not a liability in coverage. Sonny Styles is proving to be just that, particularly against tailbacks that have a good set of hands and some speed. The touchdowns that Quinn Ewers threw against Texas were both to Jaden Blue. Jaden Blue, who was able to get a one-on-one matchup with Sonny Styles in space and just beat him. He beat him to the punch, he beat him to the ball, and there's 6 points right there. The next time it came, he caught Sonny Styles in a blitz when he probably should have been backing off. Don't know what his keys were. Might have just been you go no matter what. But as soon as you see that running back trigger, somebody's got to be over the top. And knowing that nobody was over the top of Jaden Blue, it's either a busted coverage by the secondary, and we haven't seen a whole bunch of that, or it's Sonny Styles coming when he should have been staying put and trying to stay in coverage. Either way, you can catch him in zone, you can catch him in man, you can catch him in a blitz. It feels like they have a player in Aeneas Williams at Notre Dame that can take advantage of, a linebacker like Sonny Styles who just does not have the footwork or the hips to turn and run. I say that because Aeneas Williams was the man that broke open Penn State in a game that was very close, and it didn't feel like Notre Dame had a way to really open up Tom Allen's defense as, goodness me, Dennis Sutton and Dom DeLuca and Tony Rojas and Abdul Carter were just coming after them over and over again. There was nothing they could do about it. It was just an onslaught. And then they were able to sneak out Aeneas Williams, a third-bound back, a true freshman from Hannibal, Missouri, shout out Mark Twain's homeland, and make a really great catch that went for 36 yards. They hand him the ball. He goes for another 15 yards. It's up to the first rushing TD for Riley Leonard, and eventually a comeback win where Mitch Jeter more or less gets the walk-off field goal to win it. You've seen this on tape now with what Steve Sarkisian was doing if you're Mike Denbrock and you're Marcus Freeman. You also know that you have a Riley Leonard who is not a threat to force the ball down the field. And he's not necessarily going to look to pick you apart over the middle like a guy like Will Howard might. What you have is how do we get 6 lined up on our guy? How do we get that matchup? Because I think if I'm Jim Knowles, he's the guy that I got to protect. We're into the point of the season where I can't hide him, right? I can't take him off the field because he is that memorable and good in run against the run defense. But I can't have Lathan Ransom over the top of him, and I need Caleb Downs to be a threat everywhere else. I need him to be a deterrent to going to one side or the other, depending on how your corners are playing and whether or not Jordan Hancock might be, I don't know, challenged by a Mitchell Evans, challenged by a Jaden Greathouse, challenged by a Jordan Faison. They're going to try to run the football at you. You know this. You know that Jeremiah Love is going to get his touches. You know that Jadarian Price is going to get his touches. You know that Riley Leonard is going to get his opportunities to run. What you cannot allow is for Aeneas Williams to get lined up on Sonny Styles and beat you. That's going to be a non-starter. But I don't know that there's a great way to stop that matchup if Mike Denbrock can think of a way to get that matchup at the line of scrimmage, right? If you can give Riley Leonard some way to put a man in motion, to isolate a wheel route, to isolate an out and up, and a Texas route, right? Little angle in, or even, a delayed go, right? Where he runs by Sonny Styles and then you drop it in the bucket in between the linebacker and the safety, and you get an easy explosive play there. There's going to be those opportunities. I just don't know that you're not gonna be able to stop much if you're Sonny Styles. You are who you are, right? It just wasn't enough for Texas to beat Ohio State, though. If you keep going to it, I'm just going to throw somebody over the top like Caleb Downs and say, okay, throw it anywhere else because you're a little too comfortable here. I want to make you go off of this to something else. And then we'll deal with the something else if it comes. I just don't know that you're going to get more than 1 or 2 or 3 opportunities to get this play in. And if you do, you got to score. Because Texas scored on both of those plays, and they still couldn't win the damn football game. So it might not matter. But as I've been trying to give this a lot of thought and really give myself an opportunity to say, if I'm Notre Dame, I know I have to play a flawless, clean football game. I also know that I have to generate explosive plays against a defense that just doesn't allow them. How do I do that? And what I'm going to do is pick out the weak links in your defense. I can't run at JT Tuimoloau. I can't run at Jack Sawyer and win. I can't run up the middle at Tyleik Williams and necessarily win, not over and over again. And if I don't have Rocco Spindler, I'm down 2 of my best offensive linemen. Even if I feel good about my backups, still I started guys like Anthony Knapp for a reason. I got to find another way, right? Riley Leonard, they know about. Riley Leonard is going to be a guy that Caleb Downs probably spies. Cody Simon probably spies. Arvell is going to spy him. You know these things. Jeremiah Love, you're going to try to hit him very hard and make it hard for him to keep carrying the football. A guy like Aeneas Williams just has to be your alert. If he's on the football field, alert pass, alert pass, alert pass. Eyes in the backfield. Watch the misdirection. Wait, right? Let that dude get his fake chip in or his little chip in and then follow him, right? Can Sonny Styles do that? We'll find out. He wasn't able to do it against Texas. And they got opportunities to see it done. Now, some of this I think is going to be helped by getting a guy like Denzel Burke back on that side of the ball. He didn't play in the second half against Texas, and maybe that's got something to do with it. But every time a guy like Sonny Styles needs to get dropped down from a safety spot, I always question, is it his size that he's overgrown the position, or is it that we cannot trust him in coverage? Usually, it's got less to do with your size and more to do we can't trust you in coverage. Sean Taylor plays safety. He's a bigger dude than Sonny Styles was. Awesome safety. Awesome strong safety because you could trust that dude in coverage. Matter of fact, had some of the miraculous and coolest interceptions where he would just bring it down and then turn into a punt returner that was just bumbling down the field. Ronnie Lott would be playing the Sonny Styles role today if he had to play today because that's kind of safety that he was. You weren't really interested in coverage that way because there was a handful of guys that could throw for 300 yards. They didn't do it all the time. Against Riley Leonard, you're going to try to facilitate this. So if you get to see Aeneas Williams, you probably want to keep him on the football field because that means that Riley Leonard's going to have to throw the ball, and he's probably going to throw the ball to you. So if you're Jim Knowles, yes, this is a problem. Yes, this is a weakness, but it's not an insurmountable obstacle. It is one you can plan for. And now that you have on film also, damn, Sonny, you just getting cooked over here. What are we going to do about this? And you come up with ways to help Sonny out and help the defense out. Aeneas Williams is the best pass catcher, and he is the guy catching the passes. But if they put Jeremiah Love in that spot, he can still catch those passes. That's 10-5 running by Sonny Styles. I just don't see him running that down. I don't know that they're going to do it with a guy like Jadarian Price. But I did want to make this segment because I thought it was worth putting in front of you. Hey, see Aeneas Williams on the football field, alert, put the little red dot on it or a green dot on it and say, follow that man around. If not, you risk getting beat. And don't nobody want to get beat on defense.